All right, so while we're just doing this tower defense mode, part of my dailies, which should be part of your dailies if you don't do it already, I would highly recommend doing it because it does net you a ton of resources that you're always going to want. But anyway, while I'm doing this as part of my daily grind, I do want to talk about, can we just appreciate how awesome Diablo Immortal is? I mean, really, considering how bad that launch was for Diablo Immortal and how pay to win and how all of the massive YouTubers were covering just how bad it was. I mean, I really thought that was the end of this awesome game, and thankfully it wasn't, because now we have a literal tower defense mode in the game, which is pretty cool. I'm not even big on tower defense modes, but I even enjoy doing this even if it's daily, because they change the variety at which that it happens. So it almost seems like daily now it's going to change which direction they come from. So even though you have like a set way of doing it, it's different seemingly every time. I do wish they would fix this though. This is getting annoying, where if somebody walks by, you almost can't even click it fast enough unless you're very, very fast. But again, I am a big fan of how forward thinking Diablo Immortal has been. I mean, we have all these different events in the game. We have the Fractured Plains, we have Survivor's Bane, which literally flip the game on its head. And it's not just PvE, it's also PvP. They come out, and not Survivor's Bane, but in general, there seems like always a new game mode that's coming out that's going to be so dramatically different than the last, and they're doing it in a way that includes free-to-play ways of playing PvP, which I think is so fantastic. Because honestly, this game could have died when it first came out because of how quote-unquote pay-to-win it is, but now we're getting a pretty substantial amount of events that are completely free to play friendly. Survivor's Bane is definitely one of those, and it's arguably better than farming. The Phantom Market obviously is a pay to have skin, but there's not pay to win because you're not gaining any resonance or combat rating or power from it. It's just gaining that. The Fractured Plane is an event that they are reutilizing in different ways in order to really enjoy the game in the same aspect but different at the same time. And I think it's so innovative, the way they're handling the game, and I love it. Very, very excited about where the game is, where it's come from. I mean, we should definitely keep in mind the beginning and how bad it was, but we have a battle royale in Diablo Immortal that itself is insane. In Wild Brawl, there's so many cutting edge things that have come to Diablo Immortal. It's just really cool to think about in a new class. Like, oh my god, on top of all that, we have a brand new class, the Blood Knight, that is exclusive to Diablo Immortal. I thought for sure that it would be added to D4, and I mean, it isn't, nor does it even sound like it will be. It is one of those things that will only be in Diablo Immortal, at least for the time being, and it's been out for a while now, and I love that. I love the fact they doubled down. They were like, Diablo Immortal will have its own, sort of entity, which is awesome. They totally didn't have to do that, and I appreciate the fact that they did. Let me add a lightning tower here. Oh, it's Frost. I want this one. Where's the other one coming from? Up north. Let's put a bolt caster here. This is my normal strategy. I always put a bolt caster near the beginning, but you guys know that because you watch my videos. Lightning upgrade. All right, so that should keep them away. But yeah, like, this is a game mode that, because it changes every single day, I feel like it's not tedious, and it does offer a more mobile farming experience, being that you can do it AFK for like the hour after you actually do the actual. Oh, look at that! I got a legendary. I didn't even know that. This game. But even then, if you think about legendaries and Sekiro and how hard it was to come by in the beginning, like, they have done so many quality of life improvements to the game. It's kind of insane. Like, why aren't more people playing Diablo Immortal? Can you imagine where this game would be if it was launched with all of this on day one? Obviously, it would be overwhelming, but it would be so good. And it would be, if not already, the best game to ever come to mobile. I am a firm believer, and quite biased, admittedly, that Diablo Immortal probably is one of the best games, if not the best games that has come to mobile. I actually made the mistake of realizing that I was playing on 30 FPS on my mobile device. 30, which is pretty normal for most mobile games, until I went to 60, and it was like, poof. I couldn't believe it. Now, obviously, I play on whatever the highest FPS is that I can handle on my PC, but I'm used to seeing that super high FPS on my PC. I went from 30 FPS to 60 FPS on my phone, and it looked like a brand new game. It was insane with how much better it looked, and I was just like, dang, man, like, why wasn't I doing this the whole time? The game has come up with so many innovative ways of keeping our attention while staying innovative. And I think that is everything and some that anyone would ever ask for from a mobile game. I mean, all the different game modes that we have, all the different ways, quality of life things that they're coming out with, but while also keeping to the true, admittedly pay to win aspects of legendary gems. We have the Maw of the Deep, which is a brand new legendary gem that is so strong, so strong. And that gives spenders the way of gaining more power than they, more power or different power if they wanted a different type of legendary gem. And that's awesome too. There is something in this game for literally everyone. And I think that is, in my opinion, what makes Diablo Immortal so much better than any other game in the market or even in this space. I mean, there's been so many other people, I need to get rid of a tower. So many other people that have tried to come out with a different or a similar Diablo Immortal-esque type MMO RPG in mobile, and they're not as good. They're just not. It's not even close. And Diablo Immortal continues on almost a monthly or even quarterly, being realistic, quarterly basis to be more innovative than what other non-mobile games seem to have, even in their own environment. I mean, Diablo 4 is doing much better than it did at launch, which, okay, that's great, but it's also nowhere near where it probably was expected to be even still. And Diablo Immortal continues to come out with just absolute bangers when it comes to updates. I can't wait to see what the future of Diablo Immortal is, what new innovative thing they'll come out with. I mean, something as simple as adding 2 additional slots for 1 additional main hand slot and 1 additional offhand slot completely changed the game in terms of your builds. They just added 2 additional set item slots, which also completely changed the game on its head. And then there's also little things like the quality of life to the ancestral tableau, where now you can basically fully grind this by yourself or with random people. You don't have to be in a set party anymore, which is the same way for the Heliquary. This used to be so tied down and that you would fall light years behind where you needed to be if you weren't part of a really active group. And now it's not that way. And I love that. It's the more people that can enjoy the game, the better, which is why if you're not already playing Diablo Immortal, which if you probably are, if you're watching my content, because I cover a lot of Diablo Immortal content. In fact, I do it every day, which is why you should like and subscribe if you haven't already, because some of you aren't subscribed to this channel, yet watch me almost every day, which does feel like a direct insult. Why not just hit that button? Maybe the RNG gods will be in your favor if you subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a lot. Like the video, guys. Let me know what your favorite thing to come to Diablo Immortal has been. My list is quite long, and I could probably sit here all day talking about it, but I'm really curious from y'all's standpoint, what is the best thing that came to Diablo Immortal in the last year plus? Was it the pets? Was it and I didn't even talk about pets in this video. Pets are another thing that just came to Diablo Immortal, and they're phenomenal. I wanted to put a fire tower here. That's all right. I suppose I don't need to. Boom, victory. Victory in more ways than one, Diablo Immortal. Victory in more ways than one. And more legendaries. I love this game. Let me know what your favorite thing in Diablo Immortal is, but in my opinion, Diablo Immortal, bar none, is the best mobile game that has ever hit the mobile market. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and until next time, guys, lock it in.